welcome to news updates on Today Ghana News TV. We are live on the satellite via Twitch for our viewers in Eastern European countries and also on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Today Ghana News TV. We are also on anchor.fm/podcast at Today Ghana News TV. Now the headlines. Vaccination of school pupils with Pfizer commences in Ashanti region. Abandoned market project at Kasawado render traders perplexed. We have these and other stories coming your way. My name is Edna Sagmanya. The news is sponsored by Agbozu Herbal Clinic and the Links Cosmetology Training Institute. Our first story, Ghana Health Service has commenced the vaccination exercise of children aged 15 to 17 years in the Ashanti region. The exercise is ongoing in schools and selected places to vaccinate those in and out of school.
The schools, the headmasters have received a letter in regards to the vaccination. Apart from that, we also do our best to engage the headmasters on personal grounds in order that all of them we will engage them and convince them so that they will give us the permission to vaccinate the children.
Those not in school, some people for one reason or the other are 15 years but are not in school. How do you hope to get these children?
What we are doing is we have mounted a vaccinating site in vital areas in our municipality. So those who are not in school now, we use home visit, we use one-on-one education, and then organizations in the municipality to reach them. And then we direct them to where the vaccinating site is, so that they can go there for vaccination.
These are 15-year-olds. How well have they been educated so that if their reactions are severe, they will not keep it to themselves but report immediately?
What we, especially before we start the vaccination, we do them education and then we tell them what they will experience after getting the vaccine. So we inform them that you experience some few headaches or maybe fever. So when you experience this and it's above what you can contain, what you have to do to report immediately to your headmaster or the school chef coordinator.
No, I'm not scared. And I've also heard that it helps us for us to stay safe and also to protect us from coronavirus. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've heard a lot, and I'm afraid of it, but they have told us a lot, so now I'm not afraid anymore. Okay, so I've heard that when you take in the vaccine, your body will swollen and all of that, but I've not seen some.
The Ghana Health Service in the Ashanti region is giving the assurance that they have enough of the Pfizer vaccines for pupils in schools and out of.
The General Secretary of ruling New Patriotic Party, Mr. John Bedu, has stated that the NPP is far ahead of the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, when it comes to developmental projects and infrastructure. Speaking at a press conference in Cape Coast yesterday, he emphasized that President Akufo-Addo's led government is the best in the Fourth Republic.
Your does talk, you're far better than the NDC or more. In fact, free power in 2009. Now total debt stock 9 billion Ghana cedis. 9 billion Ghana cedis. Now debt to GDP ratio 26%. Almost free power in 2017. Now 9 billion. And multiply over 1,500%. Ako 120 billion Ghana cedis. no no to be cast a president Ankasa say Oma we now no mano atudombe ye buy now debt to GDP is 72%. Before 2020, yet is so far 68%. As we speak now, total debt stock no yet 345 billion thereabouts, and do 250% of the ebeto. But NDC they have 1,500% of the omobeto. Inti ye can or some to me examples throughout the world also because of COVID-19, a lot of the countries almost debt to GDP ratio increasing by double digits. Yeah, they are and call double digits. And no till see a cassette. Yeah, China, Bisianquan, a bebo, and the Arano Maya, Mintinis, a bebo, Antina, yeah, the measures are measures not only to raise revenue but also strengthen our local industries in order for them to be able to stand on their feet.
Joining us live to throw more light into it is Mr. Ebenezer Kwame-Sam, Cape Coast South Constituency Secretary of the NPP. Welcome, sir, to News Update.
Thank you, Edna.
Okay. Your party's General Secretary was at Cape Coast yesterday to address a press conference, which is unusual. What was the motive behind the press conference?
Let me take this opportunity to greet your viewers and the listeners across the globe, and also greet the Cape Coast South Constituency executives and then the polling station executives who are watching us this evening. Edna, it is not unusual for a general secretary of a party to address press conference in the central region, specifically at the Mankesi Manor Hyatt Hotel. He's the general secretary, so his office is all over Ghana. He can decide to perform his functions at any of the offices in the country. So it's not unusual that you see general secretary of this great party addressing a press conference at such a place.
Okay, so according to him, the MPP has the upper hand when it comes to developing Ghana. Do you agree with him? And what are some of the superior projects on the MPP?
Edna, you and I know that if you can NDC and MPP, all these two parties have had opportunity to rule Ghana before, and currently we are ruling Ghana. Now, if you look at the policies and programs that anytime NPP government is in, NPP is in government, that we put out for Ghanaians, you see that MPP has more policies and programs that is the benefit of the poor people than the NDC. So if the General Secretary is talking about that, I agree with him 100%. Now, let's limit ourselves to this current government led by essentially the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The social policies that this government has put across. Whenever you say, people will say, then people always talk about free SHS. Yes, we have to talk about a program that is developing the future leaders of the country should be applauded or should be hailed. So we always say it, because anytime we say it, it sends spines into the shivers down the spines of our opponent. Free SHS, every home is a benefiting. What kind of a program, a beautiful one like that. Now, as we speak, there are programs that's ongoing. Now, when you want to renew your health insurance was brought by the NPP government and the former president before. We left power for NDC for 8 years. There could not bring any innovative idea into this system. But when we came, through especially the president and the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we can now renew our health insurance at the comfort of our homes. We don't need to go and queue. When somebody is sick, the person has to go and queue, and some even lost their life. But with an innovative idea of this government, you can do this. All these are programs. Now look at the interoperability that is going on. Planting for food and job, the planting for export. Now look at the budget that the finance minister read. He's saying that before we want to move to industrialization, now you cannot be reducing benchmarks on products that we have its counterpart here or its substitute being produced in Ghana. So, for instance, poultry products. Recently, President His Excellency commissioned a poultry product at Dako Farms, a very large one. Now, then you as a government, you do this, and then you also go and reduce the import ones. Then what kind of program do you want to bring? You rather make the domestic product more affordable than the one coming from the foreign. So what we are saying is that NPP government is better managers of economy than the NDC. NPP, we don't believe in chop. We don't believe in chewing everything and come and tell Ghanaians that we've chewed everything, the meat is finished, left with bones. No. NPP assumed power, and as we speak, there has not been that devilish endemic called doomsday. We run 24 hours on our lights. Lights are on because of good management. So if the General Secretary is saying this, I 100% agree with him, because you know it, you've seen it. The NPP programs are all over for us to see. They'll go to every secondary school in this country because of free SHS. There are a lot of infrastructure projects going on there. And the economy, looking at the figures.
Hello, Mr. Ebe.
Hello.
Please, can you position yourself well? Because we can only see your head. We can't see you clearly.
Is it okay now? Can you see me now?
Give me a few minutes. I'm coming. Yes.
You can see me now?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. So as I was saying, the General Secretary did not lie. General Secretary is telling the truth. Even in the midst of COVID, when all the economy was shut down, the whole world, there was no country that was saying, even the superpowers were shocked and they were running helter-skelter. But because the management of this economy are very good managers, we've been able to sail out, and we are moving out slowly. And we believe that Ghana will go back. Had it not, the situation would have been different. Ghana will have been enjoying, but COVID, you know it. As we speak, we are still not in normal times. We are still not in normal time. COVID is still there. So, my sister, my General Secretary was 100% right, saying that we are better managers of economy than NDC.
Okay, so can you tell us some of the massive developmental projects in your constituency which were initiated and completed by the NPP government?
When it comes to Cape Coast South, sea erosion was destroying people's properties. Bird houses were being washed away. But this government has been able to construct sea defense across the coast. My constituency is at the coast of the constituency. As we speak, fishing, which was the major occupation of the people in Cape Coast, the activity was down because fishermen find it difficult to bet with their canoes here. Now the government is constructing a wharf, a landing bay, so that the canoes can now bet at Cape Coast and then sell their fishes and whatever, so that the economy of Cape Coast will boom. Now let's put that one aside. The government, there's one of the oldest markets in Cape Coast here. It is under construction, an Afro market. It's ongoing. And Sudu, the artisan village, that one is not in my constituency, but the old place is at my constituency. That is Sudu, is at my constituency. The village is being constructed at Cape Coast of Mpasam, and this artisan will be moved there, and then the place will be used for another thing. So as for the project, plenty for education, every secondary school in Cape Coast South has seen infrastructure, be it classroom blocks, dormitory, or assembly hall. It is ongoing. So for the project, this government has been good with us as Cape Coast people, and we pray and believe that government will continue. By next year, by this time, the Cape Coast Airport will be under construction, and then the harbor will also be in place for us. So we only pray for time and strength for this government and all of us to see the good works of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government in the NPP.
Okay. The NPP lost both the Cape Coast South and North seats to the NDC. Do you think if the NPP has really performed well in those constituencies, why did the people voted your parliamentarians out?
My sister, these two constituencies, President won there. The presidential candidate won in these two constituencies. So it cannot be true that the people do not believe in the government. That is why they did not vote for the parliamentary candidates of the two constituencies. They did not vote. The factors are many, and I don't want to discuss it here because it may end up me putting out the strategies that we have. Because when we discuss the factor that caused this defeat, then meaning we are also giving our opponent a clue to what we want to do in the next elections. But what I'm saying is that Cape Coast South and Cape Coast North voted massively for His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. So it means they have faith in the government. So that is what I will say on that.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Unless you have something more to add. Do you have something to add?
Oh yeah, what I will say, I will say thank you to your team, your producer who was able to guide me to get to this link, and then all the Cape Coast South constituency executive, polling station executive. Mind you, next year March I will be going for re-election. So let me take this opportunity to appeal to them that Sam is coming again. Their able secretary is coming again, so they should re-elect and maintain me to continue the good work for the great party and this constituency. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too, and wish you good luck in your re-election bid.
Thank you very much.
Okay. The Upper East Regional Minister, Stephen Yakubu, who is the chairman of RECSEC, is in an exclusive interview on phone with Today Ghana News TV, is calling for calm from residents in and around Boku on the incident of sporadic gunshots in Boku last night. The regional minister said RECSEC is currently in a crunch meeting on forward. The Upper East Regional Minister, Stephen Yakubu, who is the chairman of RECSEC, in an exclusive interview on Today Ghana News TV, is calling for calm from residents in and around Boku on the incident of sporadic gunshots in Boku last night. The regional minister said RECSEC is currently in a crunch meeting on the way forward. Sources in Boku told our correspondent that the gunshot disturbances is linked to a planned funeral of the late Boku Naba, who died 41 years ago in Mamprusi, and this will be preceded to the enskinment of a new Boku Naba aside the current gazetted Boku Naba. When contacted, the Boku Divisional Police Commander Alexander Jabaku Amenya declined to give details of the situation on the ground, but rather directed our correspondent to speak to the Upper East Regional Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Fiako Ochre. Residents of Takwa and its environs, whose properties and livelihoods will be affected in the construction of a new standard gauge rail line from Manso to Honey Valley, are demanding for a reevaluation of their properties. At a community engagement on the project in Takwa, the affected residents faulted the Ghana Railways Development Authority for delaying the compensation payments for more than a year.
As part of efforts to revamp the Western Rail Line, government is undertaking a series of rehabilitation works on the line. Currently, construction works on a new standard gauge line from Kojokrom to Manso is progressing steadily. The next phase of construction is early next year and will be from Manso to Han Valley. Several livelihoods and properties belonging to residents in 8 major towns and adjoining communities along the line will be affected. Last year, farms and properties of the affected residents were valued for payment. Unfortunately, the payment has since not happened. Some of the residents whose properties were at a developing state have gone ahead to complete them. At a community engagement in Takwa on the construction of the Manso to Han Valley line, residents were not happy with the delay. They argue that once there was no moratorium on building, they had no option but to complete their properties since they could not wait. The residents insist that unless there is a revaluation, they will protest the destruction of their property.
So that it will fit into the current prevailing prices. No one is against development, but they came here last year to engage us, and then they told us that they will be coming during December, and they didn't come. Even though they have come for the evaluation, they should come and do the evaluation again.
To the chief about it when he asked whether we should go ahead.
The market women at Kansaredu are in a state of shock and disappointment as a market shed promised them by their member of parliament has not been completed.
The market women at Kasaredu are in a state of shock and disappointed as a market shed promised them by their member of parliament is not been completed. Kasaredu is a sub of Sekondi Takrady in the Western region. Speaking to Today Ghana News TV, the market women lamented that Vice President Dr. Baumia and member of parliament for the area, Joe Gate, who cut sword for the construction of the market last year in September 2020, promised them it will complete in 3 months' time, has not come to effection.
Yeah, one was signed by 2 and the young bra baby for fire tears was a market now, and tears saw Yamaya Bay. Yabba now a platform no do. In Suta, ye and who talk a real boy, ye who talk in a refusu reayan. Now, what bed, I mean, what I say, and the young butray, what bay a market now, and pass your honey would be to 2 foam. Since you are most of my wire, what in the idea changing I do, ye who say a lupo, say a lubo, into your thread. Honorable Joe Gate, honor saying no ball. There, young brand, or by a market now, my hand. Yash and any mound by ya ready there, Bobo danger. Near the Conodo. Yaya, we are trying to be more about the feeling Bogo do 9 and yan fishy. Ya wounded that.
No more yoka kind there. Oh, yeah, Vice President Nankasa, Obocha, Mum, the one fancy market. Now, Bessin, market non cordo, but onium and now onium, young to move into your son there, sir, oniuma, as some no. Sir, onium, sir, and now on Mamma do not on town and wire my hand.
There is a statement from the Office of the Upper East Regional Coordinating Council, ban of wearing of smoke in Boku Township. Following the decision taken by RegSec during the emergency meeting, the wearing of smoke in Boku Township has been banned with immediate effect. This was necessitated by the fact that criminals or unscrupulous elements hide arms and ammunitions in smoke and attack opponents or innocent civilians. All persons living in Boku Township are to take note of the directive and comply until further notice. MUSEC is to ensure that this directive is enforced and anyone who fails to comply should be dealt with accordingly. We count on your cooperation in this regard. Thank you. The Chairman, MUSEC, Boku Municipal Assembly. Okay, so before I go, I would like to pick some of your comments from Facebook. From Patience Darko. Good evening, Edna. I'm watching you live from Hamburg, Germany. You're looking beautiful tonight. Thank you, Patience. From VIS Ghana. Edna, I love your voice. Thank you. From Gina Harrison Amo. Good evening. Good evening, madam. From Wafasami. Wow, nice submission, Ebenezer Sam. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that is it for tonight. Thanks for watching. My name is Edna Sabonya. You can log on to our social media handles on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Today Ghana News TV. Thanks to our sponsors, Agbozu Herbal Clinic and the Links Cosmetology Training Institute.
Day before this honor, no weapon from against I shall prosper. The wicked and his work shall go down in disaster. Day before this honor, no weapon from against I shall prosper. I'm anointed and appointed to walk as a winner. This is your still King Malakia from out of Jamaica, representing for Guyana News TV, the web TV for the best programs. We broadcast via satellite and also on all social media platforms. We do developmental news, social program, employment, entertainment, and educative politics. Today before this honor, no weapon formed against I shall prosper. We are anointed and appointed to walk as a winner. Whoa.